Okay, so hello. Welcome back to my channel. I want to say real quick, this video was not in my mind. Um, at least not for a really long time. So I didn't think about it at all today. But recently, before I started this video, I started thinking about magic way more. And I started, oh my god, it's just so much to it. And right now, I'm really getting, I guess you could say I'm channeling right now. So I'm really like all over the place, and I might be kind of scatterbrained. Sorry for that, and if I talk too fast, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. And I'm gonna put this in the best words possible. Magic is real. Also, side note real quick, this is like interjected in the middle of editing. Um, Also what I wanted to say was, the way magic is shown in TV, I feel like that's another reason why people are confused on how magic works, because people will tell you magic is elaborate rituals that draws upon the magical energies of the cosmos to come down in a more physical form to make your realities come true, which that is true. But I noticed the shows typically lean more towards like just spell casting, as far as shooting beams of energy out your hand, or transmutation, teleportation, telekinesis, all that stuff, right? That is just as important as well. That is also true. But like I said, where they mess up is they only show, like, for the most part anyway, one aspect of magic, and got people thinking like magic is this or this. Both. It's casting spells as far as turning people into frogs, levitating, flying, shapeshifting, just as much as it is causing the change, bringing down chaos to where it can be integrated into this reality to cause change into your life, such as better health, or getting the job that you wanted, or giving you more enhanced luck to get the position, or to even manifest your dreams, such as using magic to pull your dreams, such as you want to be a musician, pulling in circumstances to where you will be able to be put in situations to bring your dreams to reality. So I also want to say that as well, that magic is both this and that. Magic is both turning people into frogs, as well as altering your life in a way where you are successful in whatever career or whatever you want to do. So I just want to say that. All right, love you lots. Bye. Oh my god. Okay, I really don't know how much about this video, because I, at least what I typically do is write, it's like at least bullet points, so I can better say it. So forgive me if I'm jumping everywhere. So just please keep up if possible. So I've been on the internet, right? Because I was just curious. Even though I know this is already know. See, okay. Even though I already know the truth, I still like to do research on the same topic, even when I know the person is probably going to have the same view, just to see if anything changed, and just to see, like, okay, what changed in this? Did this change this? Just to get all the information that I can, right? And mainly out of curiosity, but I also am genuinely want to know, did your viewpoint change? Where is everybody at collectively? Where are people at, right? And I noticed, oh my god. Okay, yeah, this video is probably gonna be long. Okay, so magic and magic. People typically spell magic M-A-G-I-C. People who are of more of the occult field spell magic M-A-G-I-C-K. Both are equally true. And I think the problem with people is that they think you got to be this or that, or this only truth, and this is the truth, and it can't be this or that. Y'all got to understand that once you grow and mature consciously, there are multiple truths. And multiple things can be true at the exact same time. And it may seem like it's contradictory, but it's not. And even if it does, and doesn't mean it's not true. But it feels like there's a war. And my first video, the magical child, if you notice, I spelled magical child on the picture thumbnail with a K, but I typed it under the thumbnail, or beside the thumbnail. I used it with a C. And that's because not only was I called to do that, that's how I felt to do it, but both are equal. You can spell it either way. You can spell it the Latin way. It doesn't change what magic is. Magic isn't the labels you give it. Magic is what it is. Magic is a force out there that you can use. You need to understand that magic is it. I'm sorry. I'm not speaking to y'all in particular. I'm speaking to those YouTubers. Sorry, forgive me. So, like I said, I'm still, I guess you can say, channeling. Excuse me. This video is not about attacking anyone or anything, how they believe, what they feel is true or not. This video has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with other people's viewpoints necessarily or how they feel. And like I said, I am not here to bash anyone. Anyone, that includes y'all too. I'm here to help people better understand what magic really is, because people don't really have a concept of what magic really is. They don't understand that magic can be practical, logical, reasonable, at the same time whimsical, chaotic, unpredictable, and straight up just doesn't make sense. And people have this thing where they have to, like I said, they have to categorize something as this or that. Y'all, we need to move out of that. True growth, oh my god, true growth is not this or that. It encompasses every fucking thing. And I never understood how, sorry, I'm going to get more into magic. This is just a precursor, and I'm going just based off a whim. So forgive me. Like I said, please keep up. Please, 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 please do your best to keep up. And I'm gonna do my best to articulate myself as best as possible. I do have this thing called fat tongue syndrome, or pirate speak. So I naturally sound like a pirate when I speak, but when I speak fast, and I also have ADHD, but when I speak fast, it really sounds like I'm mumble speaking. So I'm going to do my best to articulate. So if it sounds like I'm over enunciating, that is why. That is something I had to deal with my entire life. So forgive me. Okay. Now with that out of the way. Whew. Okay, that felt good. So, magic is... I honestly forgot what I was going to kind of say, so forgive me if I'm jumping trains. Like I said, I got ADHD, so things just be coming. I be seeing images, flashes, and the girl, I gotta say it when I say it. But... sorry, I just... girl, it's for real. It's some real shit here. It's some real shit. But, okay, so magic. What people call magic is, first of all, I've seen some people say magic is will. That is not accurate. That is not accurate. That is not accurate. That is not accurate. Will has absolutely nothing to do with magic. However, maybe let's talk about, that's gonna be it for another video. I'm gonna save that for another video. I don't want y'all to get too lost in the sauce. But I don't think most people even think that anymore. I think it's just a select few. I guess so. I may not make a video. Will is not magic. Will is just a force of energy within yourself that causes you to create something. Not wait, what? Hold on. Will is a force out there within yourself that you can use to create, help create. Think of it as like a funnel. You can use magic. You can use your will in magic to create. You can use your will in psychic powers or psionic powers to create. You can use your will to affect the quantum field. You can use your will to be a stronger fighter. Will is not inherently or solely connected to magic. Will connects with everything. It is like a driving force. Maybe I should do a video on will. But the Alchemist, I think, already did that. So yeah, shout out to Sarah. Love her. Hey queen. But love the Alchemist. Yeah, so people think magic is reasonable. It's logical. It's you have to work within a certain perimeter to have magic to happen, right? That is half the truth. And magic, at its core, is chaos. And what chaos is, anything you want it to be. Magic is just as much as reasonable, logical, and practical. Oh my god. Reasonable, logical, and practical. Just as whimsical, chaotic. Oh, like I mentioned before, whimsical, chaotic, and completely doesn't make sense. Magic encompasses any and all thing, because magic is just another way of saying chaos. Magic and chaos are the exact same thing. However, magic does come from chaos. It does. But so does structure. Structure comes from chaos as well. I don't understand why people think that, oh my god, but this is a whole nother topic, and I hope okay, slow my roll. Okay, like I said, magic is a system that does anything, everything you want. I have been on here, and plus I've known this from experience, but even just doing more research before this video, just I guess intuitively maybe, people really box. They put a perimeter around magic. How can you put something? How can you box something? How can you say, oh, magic isn't using a spell to turn an apple green, or magic isn't using your will or the forces of your will with the forces of magic to manifest something out of thin air. Magic isn't, you're not able to use magic to levitate a book across the world. Magic isn't like what you see in the Disney movies and Harry Potter. You can't. These are the words they're using. I need you to understand that. They're saying these, when I'm saying, I'm using verbatim what they're saying. You can't, or magic isn't, or that's stupid, magic can't do that, or that's impossible. You can't put a label or a perimeter around something that is inherently subjective and impossible. Magic is chaos, the core of chaos, or you can say the core of magic. The core of it. I'm speaking the core of it. Like I said, these people, they are right to an extent. They are. And you got to understand that humans are going to human, and humans only know what they know, and they don't know what they don't know. And to be honest, and I'm being sincere when I say this, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody, humans don't know shit. Majority of humans don't even know who they are, let alone a force that is complex as magic. If you don't even know who you are, completely, then how can you say what magic is and what magic isn't? Because, girl, I can easily say what you are and what you aren't. You see how that works? See, that's using logic and reason. And that also applies in magic, but in chaos. And the core of what it is the impossible. Magic and chaos are the same thing. And I will use them interchangeably. The core of what it is the unimpossible. Planes were thought to be impossible, but they're impossible. They're possible now through the lens of the masculine principle, which is science, light, all that. It became possible. So through a system of structure, the impossible became possible. So why the fuck? Oh, I'm cussing now. Oh my god. So why the fuck, through a system such as chaos or magic and / magic, through such a system, how come the impossible can't be possible? Does that make sense? I hope I said that right. Let me say it again, because I know I kind of fumbled the bag a little bit with the wording. Because, anyways, so if planes could, if at one point planes were thought to be impossible, but through the principle of masculinity, and what I mean, that sounds crazy. Through the masculine principle, such as light, structure, order, the impossible was possible. So why the hell, that principle of the impossible is literally embodied by magic. It's embodied by chaos. So why isn't the impossible, which is at home the native tongue of chaos and magic, why isn't the impossible able to be made possible? Sorry, I had to let that settle in for a minute. Let's let it settle in for a minute. Just hold on. Okay, so if you can't cast a spell to make your hair grow, to teleport, to fly, to turn into an owl, turn into a bat, to warp reality even, then you are not a witch, a sorcerer, a wizard, a spellcaster. You are a practitioner of magic. Period. A practitioner of magic is for common folk. And when I say common folk, I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm saying people who practice magic, and watch for the language too. I'm always listening to how people speak, and I take everything in. People who practice magic, people who are magic practitioners, are just common people who are curious about a little something more. So they play with it. They don't wield it, they play with it. Magic, you don't play with magic, you wield magic. There is a difference from being a practitioner and being of. I'm not a practitioner of magic. I am magic. I'm not a practitioner of witchcraft, of magic and witchcraft. I am a witch. I'm not a practitioner of magic. I am a sorcerer. I am a wizard. I am a magician. Those are two different vibrations. Being a practitioner of is still implying you're playing with, and you're still practicing, and you're still having fun with. No matter how big you get, yes, you will always learn and grow. But being a practitioner means that you are a baby in that, and that you have not gone, or you don't do magic in a way where it's actually serious. You're not doing magic in a way where you are turning a frog into a log, where you are walking on water, where you are turning water into wine, where you are turning a cane into a snake. Real people, real maguses, a real magus, a real witch, a real sorceress, a real wizard would be able to do that. And they would not call themselves practitioners because they don't practice magic, they wield magic. And I know that is a huge problem with a lot of people, is that they confuse the practice with magic with actual magic. And this is going to go to another video that I will make about chaos magic, because that's another misconception that first of all, a lot of people don't talk about chaos magic. You're going to have a lot of videos on chaos magic over here, but or at least enough. There's only so much you can say about one subject. But I never really understood until I started talking to myself out loud, walking back and forth, was that the reason why people don't necessarily understand how it works is because, and we're moving out of this, but the reason why people don't understand how it works and why it works is because everyone, I mean the collective, of course, I'm not saying everyone specifically, I'm talking about collectively, the collective unconscious, the whatever you want to call it, collectively, everyone is filtering reality through the masculine principle. And like I mentioned before, the masculine principle includes structure, order, light, heat, practicability, logic, reason, right? Keep in mind, we all, no matter who the fuck you are, we all embody the masculine principle and the feminine principle. But there are some who embody it completely. But anyways, that's besides the point. But everything's being filtered through the lens of masculinity. And no, I am not talking about men. This video, this dialogue has absolutely nothing to do with a penis, dick, or balls, or anything that you identify with the man. Understand that. This transcends basic humanity. Understand that as well. So, I'm sorry, I had to make that clear, because when people hear the word masculine principle or masculinity, they think dick and penis, dick and balls, and that's not the case. Majority of the time, it's not the case, at least with me. But in overall macrocosm, that's not the case at all, because it's energy. But anyways, They filter things through the masculine principle. And like I told you what it was, right? And because the masculine principle is so extreme and is not balanced by the feminine principle, people can't magic is inherently a feminine sorry, I thought I had to burp. Hold on. Sorry about that. Magic is inherently a feminine principle. People are filtering a feminine principle through the masculine principle. So you have people saying creating or using magic to turn somebody into a frog is impossible. It's weird. It's not real or realistic. Listen to the phrases people use. Those phrases are strictly applied to the masculine principle. The masculine principle is not worse or better than the feminine principle. The feminine principle isn't worse or better than the masculine principle. They both exist to coexist. Those two bitches, those two motherfuckers, those two motherfucking principle bald-headed ass bitches exist so you can exist. They exist in union. They are literally one of the same blood. Okay? I need y'all to understand that. They complement each other. The law of the masculine and feminine principle is to be one. That is the law. To be in union. On the most basic, and I'm using the most basic level possible. The masculine and feminine principle is literally when two people have fucking sex. That is the most basic way you can see the masculine and feminine principle. So if on the most basic level is for two people to be in union when combining their masculine and feminine principles, on the highest level, that would also apply as well. Okay? I also want to say real quick, I meant to say, why did I repeat myself? But the masculine and feminine principle is also inside you. It's energy, right? So you take those two opposite forces and within yourself and you unite them. You create communion, union, community within yourself. Not just through sex or not just through the physical lens, but through the energetic lens within yourself and outside of yourself and on the higher levels of yourselves and realities and densities. I also want to say that. But I love y'all. Bye, my sirens, my little starlights. Filtering something, you're filtering the feminine principle is the impossible, is the dark, is the imaginative, is the creative, is the chaotic side of the masculine principle. You can also see the masculine principle and the feminine principle, the same side, between two different sides to the same coin. And with the feminine principle, because impossibility is the feminine principle, you can't filter the feminine principle through the masculine principle. You can't filter it through. You can unite it. You can unite the two principles as you're supposed to, but you can't understand the feminine principle if you're just looking at things through the masculine principle lens, which is science, objectivity, logic, practicality, reason, structure, order. The feminine principle is the exact and complete opposite of the masculine principle. The whole purpose of the two is to unite, because if you have too much feminine principle, you are imbalanced. If too much masculine principle, you are imbalanced. And how that shows up in your unity will be different. For me, I'm androgynous. For you, you just might be more feminine, or you might be a little bit more masculine, but internally, you are in union. I just want to make that clear, because when you combine the two, how it shows up will be different based on your authenticity. And sorry if I'm over enunciating. I just have to for my sake, not for y'all to feel stupid. But also, I wanted to be clear and articulate for y'all to understand that you cannot, I repeat, cannot understand magic / chaos if you're only looking at things objectively. If you can only understand something if it's right in front of your face, you can only understand something scientifically, because I don't want to break the bad news to you. Science is only a small part of creation. On top of that, science is catching up to what spiritual people, to what quantum physics, even, well, I include quantum physics in there. Science is catching up to what magic is, at least on the human physical level, that is. And the reason why science is objectively slower is because it only deals with an aspect of creation, which we all know. The reason also why science, going deeper into what I was about to say, to what I was saying, science is also slower because, like I said, it only deals with the physical, biological, when we all know that even science states that everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Science even tells you that the things that are solid before you are not really solid. They're made of energy. They are energy. So yeah, hope you understand that. And when it comes to dealing with the subjective, it's dealing with that energy. When you deal with the feminine principle, it's dealing with the energy the masculine principle is it dealing with, which is most of creation, is the rest of creation. If I had to give a percentage, physicality is probably only 10% of out of the entirety of creation. If you want to go 100%, physicality is only 10%. Hell, maybe not even that. And I'm being generous with that. I'm just saying. Love y'all. I'm not backing science. Science is also just as important. But after a while, you move from basic physical science to quantum physics. I urge people to get more so into quantum physics because that starts to delve in the metaphysics of science. I think quantum physics is an enlightened version of regular basic science. Same with alchemy. It's an enlightened version of chemistry. But anyways, that's the point. But yeah, I just want to make that clear. And I just need to drive that home for y'all to understand what that really means and what that is. So yeah, love y'all. Okay, so this part might be just a slab bit jumpy, because I kind of messed up what I said. I don't know what I was mentally. I don't know where the fuck I was at, but I said the feminine principle pushes out and receives. That does not make sense. The feminine principle does not pushes out and receive. It receives and pulls in. Oh my god, sorry. I had a brain fart. But yeah, the feminine principle pulls in and receives. So what I was saying was the vagina, it pulls in and receives, right? But when I was talking about pushing out, I think I was in two different dimensions. But when I was talking about pushing out, I was talking about babies. It pushes out babies. But I don't know if that would have made sense in this context specifically. But hey, I'm gonna add this part now. Deal with it. But yeah, what I was saying was it just pulls in and it receives, such as the feminine principle, because it's cold, receptive, intuitive, like water. It pulls in and receives, and it's deep. So while the masculine principle, it pushes and forces and moves. You see what I'm saying? One receives, retrieves, pulls in, while the other pushes, forces, ignites. I hope that makes sense. Sorry about that. And you can tell that I stutter, so forgive me. But that doesn't mean they're not equal. They're both are very much equal, important, and serve a purpose. One is not, I repeat, superior than the other. And I'm not talking to you specifically who's watching this video. I'm talking to the fucking collective unconsciousness. Okay, because that's how I'm channeling right now. Because y'all bitches are fucking crazy. Okay, and y'all the problem while we're in this mess. Okay, hold on. But no, seriously though, this video can only be 30 minutes because that's the length of this fucking recording. But I didn't expect it to be 30 minutes either. But I guess I'm gonna rock the time anyway. But anyways, to wrap it up, you can't filter the impossible through the possible because that doesn't make sense. You have to filter it first through the impossible and then understand that you can make the impossible possible. You first start with the impossible, which is the feminine principle, imagination. So you have to start with that first. Then, okay, so this is how I'm gonna do it. Okay, so to turn a spider into a frog, I have to build up my strength. I have to build up my magic. That's another thing. We got to get into that too because I'm gonna get into that. Hold on, but I have to build up my understanding of everything and then of what I'm doing. And then now the masculine principle filters the feminine principle. It funnels the feminine principle. Chaos in order. The feminine principle is chaos. So for you to have order in your life, you have to have chaos because chaos and for you to have oh my god, it gets convoluted because you can't have one without the other. But for you to have order, you have to have chaos. For you to have chaos, you have to have order. Chaos, you have chaos, and then you have order. Which is the masculine. Okay, you have the masculine. You have chaos, i.e., magic, i.e., the feminine principle. Boom, i.e., the impossibility. So you have that, and then you have the masculine principle, which is possibility, practicality, reason, order, structure. So you have the masculine principle, right? That's the funnel. Why do you think a phallus looks the way it does? And why do you think a vagina looks the way it does?
Myth is imagination. The power of the mind and everything it can create drives the myth arts. It is illusion, dreams made real. If you can conceive it, you can bring it forth, bring it to life.
It's not the masculine principle, which it goes in. It gives. The masculine principle gives, right? So you push. So once you're ready to structure your chaos, you funnel it through order, through the masculine principle. And then that's how you have your practical reality, right? That's how the system magic works, right? That's how things work, right? And with magic, works the exact same way. Magic literally works like that. You're conjuring up magical or mystical forces, the impossibility, and you're figuring out a way to make it possible. The possible is the masculine principle. The impossible is the feminine principle. You can't have one without the other. You just cannot. You can't have an airplane without first going through your imagination. You just can't. And that's another video that I'm going to make too. Is imagination. But magic doesn't work just because you want something to happen. That's what this video is supposed to be about too. But it doesn't work. I might just continue this video actually. Magic isn't just what you want to happen or what you desire to happen. People don't know how magic works. Also, is because yes, once you become powerful enough, you can walk on water, you can levitate, you can teleport, you can shapeshift, right? But before you can fly, you have to know how to walk. Point blank period. Before you can even cast a spell to alter reality or to turn a person into a frog, you have to understand how magic works. Also, you have to understand how you work. For somebody to truly wield magic, you have to understand that you have to love yourself first. I would never teach anybody magic who doesn't love themselves, because that will set the precedence. If you hate yourself, you doubt yourself. If you doubt yourself, you are uncertain of yourself. And if you are uncertain, you don't believe. And magic is a big principle on belief. Magic is a big believer in belief. Do you understand that? So, if you are the universe, if you are the God spark, and if you are the divine spark, the divine creation, if you are as above, so below, then why the hell would you think that you can just that you can do whatever you want? You don't believe you can do whatever you want. You don't understand that you can do whatever you want, because you don't even claim your own power. If you can't even believe in yourself, how the hell do you expect magic to work? How the hell do you expect magic to believe in you? That's why in a lot of these shows, you have to believe, right? To see magic, to wield magic, to perform magic. It's because if you don't believe in yourself, if you can't believe that the impossible can be possible, then it won't be. Because you are just as powerful as the thing you're believing in. And that's just point blank period. And I hate saying point blank period. Every time I say it, I think of Penny from The Magicians, which is my favorite show of all time ever. Love it so much. But that's why I'm saying it a lot, because he's popping in my head, so I'm saying it period, just like how he does. Anyways, that's random. But yeah, that's why magic is a big system on belief. Magic does not, I repeat, give a fuck about logic or reason, because magic is the opposite of logic and reason. Logic and reason does not give a fuck about subjective truth, does not give a fuck about the impossible, because it's logical, it's reasonable. But you have to understand that only applies when the principles are at their extremes, when they are separated. But when they're united in union, they support each other. You start to understand that science and magic are essentially of the same coin. Science is not magic, magic is not science. They are of the same coin, but they are completely two different principles. And that's another video that I'm going to talk about later, but it kind of goes into this as well. but we're keeping on topic, and this video's almost up. I think I got a minute left. So essentially what I was saying was, to wrap it up, magic is the impossible. It's doing whatever you want to make it real, but you have to believe it. I'm also going to put the myth in Wisdom 101, the myth quote that I believe in heavily, that I follow religiously. If you can conceive it, you can bring it forth, bring it to life. And with most people, they can't conceive things that aren't right in front of them. And I'm not saying you are a terrible, bad, awful person. I'm just letting you know that that's the reality of the fucking matter. That's the truth of the situation. People do not and cannot conceive anything if it's not right in front of them. If I'm right now, I have a candle right in front of me, I can conceive it. If a bat came out of space, landed on my shoulder and started talking to me, most people wouldn't be able to conceive that. And that's the problem. Like I said, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying the problem with why there's a disconnect with magic and your reality is because you can't conceive magic or believe it. Ika. Okay, so I figured out you can still continue. It just has a 30, my editing software that I'm using to record, it just has a 30-minute time limit, but you can still continue. Okay, cool. Yeah. So if you, what was I gonna say? I'm so salty because I slick forgot. Okay, anyways. So if you want magic, so you just heard that clip, right? I just said it, but you heard the clip too. Magic is what you can conceive. For you to be able, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This kind of goes into the next video that I'm going to talk about, which is chaos magic. But ultimately, if you can't conceive multiple realities, if you can't fathom the impossible, if you don't understand that a bunny from space with wings can come to Earth and talk to you, if you can't understand that that's as much of a truth of a reality just as you going to the store and buying apples, both realities can exist at the exact same time. Both can be true. You want to know why? Because source is the impossible. Imagination. We are pure. Source is pure imagination. We are beings of pure imagination. The first thing about imagination is what? Imagining, making things up, creating things that, who gives a fuck? My imagination doesn't give a fuck if it's real or not. What do you want it to be? And for you, and that's another thing. This video is just talking about magic. It's not telling you how to do magic, which I want to do a video on as well, because it'd be a cute little, probably 6-minute video, I don't know, on magic of how to do it, because it does revolve, because I do want to actually articulate that video and actually sit down and really think and meditate on how can I properly execute what I'm trying to say, what I'm attempting to say. But yeah, I guess I'm pretty much done with the video. But I just wanted y'all to understand, magic is whatever the fuck you want it to be. The problem is, you aren't in a space where you understand that and where you can conceive the impossible. And that's okay. That is okay. I am not talking to people who say, it's not real, you're crazy. Who doesn't matter. Okay. I'm not real. I'm a made up person. I'm crazy. I don't exist. Okay. We can move on now, okay? Okay. So, I'm talking to the people who actually either come from a lineage of witches, wizards, sorcerers, people who practice magic, whether it's voodoo or Haitian, or rather it's from Europe, or rather it's from France, or rather it's from Asia, India. It doesn't fucking, or Asia. India's in Asia. Rather it's from the Asian cultures. It doesn't fucking, Japanese magic. It doesn't fucking matter. The reason why you can have magic in all these cultures and why magic takes the many forms that it does is because magic can be whatever the fuck it wants to be. Magic isn't the masculine principle, it's the feminine principle. What do you want to be? Magic is extremely adaptable. Magic is extremely adaptable. Magic can be very structured, it can be very chaotic, but the core of it all is impossible. The core of magic is chaos. The core of chaos is anything goes. Anything goes. And within the system of creation, how magic chooses to operate is through the path of least resistance, which is the feminine principle, which is chaos. How can we get the most bang for our buck? That's what magic is. It isn't, okay, so I have to go through these steps and systems to get what I want. I have to work hard to get the most maximum effect. That's the masculine principle, and that is not bad or wrong at all. The masculine principle and the feminine principle both are inherently there for you to understand that anything is possible. Through the masculine principle, when you merge the masculine and feminine principle, you understand that the impossible can be made possible. The impractical can be made practical. That's why both of them are in union. When they are separate and you only focus on one or the other, you are imbalanced. The forces are imbalanced, and those are extremes. You can never truly be evolved or wield magic if you are operating in a system of extremes. You cannot. You can practice magic, you can play with magic, but to truly wield magic, you have to unite those two forces. You just do. Because in those two forces reside the truth that anything's possible. That anything's possible. Because the feminine principle is anything possible. The masculine principle is how can we make the impossible? The masculine principle is the practical. Sorry. The feminine principle is the impossible. The masculine principle is the practical. Right? It's the possible. When you merge the two, now it doesn't just become the impossible or the possible. It becomes how can we make the impossible possible? And that's what magic is. Magic isn't just because it's of the feminine principle does not mean it's balanced. Y'all need to understand that magic, if you want to be more technical, it's more so of the middle path, but which the middle path is the path of the child, the androgynous path, where you are merging both in harmony. One isn't the other isn't the one. You are. Period. You are. Period. That's what that's what wielding true magic is, and that's what magic is at its core. And it's just, it is what it is, girl. That's just the truth of the matter. And yeah, once again, this video is not to bash anybody or to make anybody feel less than or feel like they're stupid. I'm not trying to make anybody feel stupid. I know that when I talk sometimes, I can come off like, you know, I guess what's the word? Like I know everything. It's not about me knowing everything. I just know what I'm talking about. And I just naturally channel this type of energy, this type of magic. That's why my first video is the magical child archetype, because I want y'all to understand by nature, even when I was a child, from 3 years old, from what I can remember, I've always embodied imagination, and I've always embodied truths through my imagination. And I am naturally clear cognizant, which that means I know. It's called clear knowing. And I naturally just get downloads of information, but the way that information is channeled is through my imagination. And because I am the magical child archetype, I am the magical child, the way it filters is through that. But because I am the magical child archetype, I know how magic works. I have a different understanding of what magic is and how it works, because that is my niche. I guess you can say that is an area of life where I can say without certainty I know what the fuck. Sorry, I told y'all I was going crazy that day, okay, or that night. But I meant to say, with certainty, magic is a topic that I can talk for hours about. Knowing about it, because I know magic to its core. Intuitively, I am just connected to magic. And being the magical child archetype, that is, I'm sorry, but like, what better archetype is there that can talk about such a niche topic, such a topic? And I'm not saying I am better than anyone or I know more than anyone. I'm saying that I know what I am talking about. And I will never come on here telling y'all about magic if I don't know about that system. Like, I'm not coming over here talking about voodoo magic or Haitian magic or European magic. I don't know that system specifically, but magic at its core, I do know for a fact what it is. Okay? I just want to make that clear. I'm talking about. However, when it comes to learning different systems of magic, I still have room to grow. But as far as the core of magic, I know. I'm not trying to rhyme. I'm just saying. But yeah, I want y'all to understand that too. Like I said, this video isn't for people who don't believe in magic. But if you don't believe in magic, I hope you can understand where the disconnect and why people don't believe in magic. Because it really does hurt me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I cried. I know you call me a bitch, whatever. But I cried because it does hurt when I hear people say magic isn't real and they truly believe that. Because it's not true. That's like saying you don't exist. Half of you isn't real. That hurts. That really does hurt me. But aside from that, I don't want people to just think, you know, anybody who talks about anything other than science is crazy and impractical. Which, that's a video we gotta talk about in and of itself. But people who don't believe, this video, my channel is for everyone. I want people, the non-believers and the believers of whatever the fuck you believe in and what you don't believe in. It doesn't matter. This channel is for anyone. You could be Christian, you could be atheist, you can work with dark magic, you can work with magic that's more of the light, you can work with nature magic, you can call yourself a whore, you can say you are an idiot, you can call yourself the fool, you can be anything you want to be, right? I don't care. This channel is an all-inclusive channel. I want everyone to be involved, and I want people to comment and talk, and I want us to have a nice healthy banter and discussions, not arguments, but discussions about certain things. We are not here to impose what you believe in onto anybody, okay? And I also want to state that too, like, this video is not about posing beliefs. We are talking about the core of what something is. When I speak, and that's another thing that I want to talk about too, and that's another thing why I think like people think I might be a know-it-all. It's nothing to do with that. First of all, I'm an old soul. Hello. But it's not about me being a know-it-all. When I speak, I don't care about the branches of the tree. Give me to the roots. Without the roots, you wouldn't have a tree to begin with, right? So when I speak, I don't speak a matter of this or that. I speak what is, what we do know. And what we do know is that magic inherently is subjective. That's why you, as a person who believes the objective over the subjective, don't believe in magic. That's why most people can't comprehend or don't believe or don't give a fuck about magic, is because they don't understand the feminine principle. You have to understand the femininity before you can say you know this or that. And for somebody, and for most people out there who aren't balanced in their principles, hopefully this video will help you understand that magic is of the feminine principle. And the reason why is because you're too, that's another thing I want to talk about too. It's in a whole nother video, but you're over intellectualizing everything. You can't intellectualize something that is meant to not be intellectualized. You can't intellectualize something that is meant to be misunderstood. You can't intellectualize something that is confusing. Sorry if you hear my stomach growling. I'm kind of hungry. You can't. It's kind of my time to eat too. It's 3:53 a.m. I'm a vampire, so I eat at night. But it's my time to feed. I need to feed. Feed. Um. But yeah, like I really enjoyed this video. This video's getting too long. Let me stop. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry, and I repeat. I repeat mainly for myself because, like I told y'all, I talk like a pirate, and people told me I sound like People say I be speaking gibberish most of the time. So when I repeat, it's mostly for me, but to another degree, I guess you could say to a lesser degree, it's also to reiterate and to really hit home what I'm speaking about. And that's magic, and that's a topic that I am well understood in. You don't read about magic, you understand magic, if that makes sense. And there's, once again, like I said, magic is nuanced as well. It's subjective, all that. So yeah, you can read books about magic, about certain spells, this spell. Well, okay, put it this way. You go to Europe, like I said about magic being adaptable. You go to Europe, you got their own system of magic, right? You go to Africa, they got their own system of magic, right? But at the core of it all, it's what? Magic. They are just tapping into a portion of what magic is. True magic is chaos. True magic is pure imagination. And that's just how I'm going to leave it. We're done here. But thank y'all for coming and tuning into my long ass fucking video. Wasn't intended to be long, but I can be very long with it. Technically, I still feel the energy to talk about magic, but mainly because I got other videos planned that talk about magic, but in a different way, such as chaos, such as imagination, which involve magic. But like I said, that's a whole different video, a whole different topic. But yeah, love y'all. Bye, bitches. I literally just came back to say this. Bye, my sirens. I want to give y'all like a cool little name. I want to say the name will change, obviously, but I'm gonna call y'all my magical children, my imaginators, my sirens, my magicians, my wizards. So I'm gonna have multiple names for y'all. So yeah, by my magical person. I don't fucking know. I love y'all. Bye.